But I have something that I want to ask you. I have a metric. I have actually three metrics. I want to tell you one of them. If you take total sales you generated in any time frame,
Mhm.
and then divide by total number of clicks that your listing received.
Advertising clicks, are we talking clicks or sessions?
Total sessions,
Sessions, okay.
straight off the business report.
Okay.
Doesn't that give you the value of each click?
So say it again. Your
Total
total sales.
sales divided by number of sessions.
So would that give you, are you saying would that give you your ROAS? Like what's
No,
the metric? Like what?
I'm saying this is a whole new metric that I'm trying to come up with. So
That would be dollar per session, right?
dollar per session, right?
Yep. Okay.
So now think about this. If you are tracking that over time and it starts to go down, what does that tell you? And it starts to go up. It tells you something, right?
It tells you it went up or down, but then the question is where, why, what drove it, right?
Right.
So your, in the factors there, it's not perfect because you don't have all the inputs, right? But it could be your conversion rate went up, right? Your conversion rate went down. Your ASP went up, your ASP went down, your AOV went up, your AOV went down, units per order went up, units per order went down. But trying to go and pinpoint exactly what happened, I mean, I have to think about it, but think that I think the data is not going to map as perfectly as you want it to.
Well, you could then translate that same dollar per session,
Mm-hmm.
each one of those paid, organic, and also external. And then when you look at it over time, you can see where the drop
Mm-hmm.
is. And then it would be easier to tie it back. Because as you know, there are so many things going on, it's very
Yep.
hard to really isolate. But this way, it's those three buckets ultimately. It's generating the sales. And then if
Yep.
you can narrow it down to the bucket, and then from that bucket, I tell you another one. Now you take the paid sales, you've
Mm-hmm.
got 5 different campaigns, was
Yep.
4 category, but really 5, because if you split sponsored brand into video and brand, and now you got 5, you can
Mm-hmm.
calculate that number also for each one of those campaign types. So now you are even breaking it down further, and then once you do that, then you have something that you can hone in on a lot more precisely. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with.
Well, I mean, potentially, if the data is there, like that would be another way to have a cross advertising and organic comparison. I think the challenge is you're relying on sessions data, and if you wanted to go find out why, right, you have to go to the detail page sales and traffic by child item report, where you get the ASIN level details. Um, one of the limitations of that report is if you pulled that report every day, right, pulled it every day for a month and then aggregated it, and then you went and pulled that same report and pulled it for the month, your sessions aren't going to match. Your unit session percent isn't going to match. And the reason is because if you do not have a sale during the time period that you selected, Amazon does not populate any sessions for that ASIN SKU.
Well, the data changes.
It also
So
changes. This is a separate issue. The data can be restated when they back out bot traffic, so that always happens. But
yeah,
this is a peculiarity with how they present it, which we've had to deal with this because we're trying to aggregate up from the lowest level, which would be ASIN level sale, ASIN level performance at a daily basis.
Mhm.
But if I want to show like week over week performance and I built it from the ASIN level and I went into the business reports and pulled the full week versus the full week, the data is going to be different. And this is just what, for whatever reason, Amazon has had this treatment, which is another, it's another gap, difficulty with, you know, trying to track trends. If you're at scale, like this doesn't matter, but if you're, you know, you're launching a new SKU and it's not getting traffic, you don't know, you know, it didn't get a sale and you just pumped a lot of outside external traffic into it and you're saying, why is there no sessions? Like that could be a reason if it didn't convert. So this is more like the dirty laundry once you go deep into the nuance of Amazon's data that always presents these challenges.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Well, you know what we found was, because we were doing this, so we were fetching the data daily
mhm,
on business reports at child level,
Yep.
child days, and we were doing it manually to test out the algorithm. And then once everything was all established, we automated.
mhm,
When the SP API came out, and then they started to release the business reports
Yep.
data, we automated it, and sure enough, the data is different. So my team member who works on it, he says, Nick, the data is different. And no, what he found was the data we fetched manually, he compared against the data that was fetched through automation,
mhm,
and the two did not match.
Yep.
So I said, okay, there are several data points there. Which one is not matching? So he started looking into it further, and what he found is sessions match, the USP doesn't match, and also order item sales don't match.
Yep.
When we looked into it further, and then you do a little bit of a reverse engineering, then we realized what was going on. Because what Amazon was doing was applying the same attribution
mhm,
rule to also change the purchase activity in the business reports. So in fact, fetching it daily is not a good idea,
Yep.
unless you're fetching it daily every day for the past 14 days.
Right.
Now we have a different situation.